Day 109, and the weather finally broke. Rained last night, dropped the temperature by, wow, 25 degrees, 20 degrees. So it's in the 70s now, and this is at the top of the rise, but I just slept down below here. But interesting thing to see on top of a little mountain. But it is wonderfully cool this morning. And even though my watch says I slept really poorly last night, probably because it didn't do this until about 10 o'clock or midnight. But I'm looking forward to a nice hiking day today. Got a lot of miles to cover, almost 18. And but I think it's going to be a good day, and it's going to be relatively flat. So that'll be nice. And I have to decide what I'm doing with my potential stay in Duncannon and then the next couple of days. Hopefully you can read that. Interesting that this is Appalachian Trail farming, and just take a look at this. Really nice. But this is going to be the unprotected, out of the woods section of the trail. And this is a perfect day to do it. This is what I'm walking beside. Looks like wheat to me. If it was barley, maybe it is barley. I would know what to do with it. Awesome. And then there's corn on the other side. That's coming up. Nice. The iron industry at Boiling Springs, in Boiling Springs. And here's the furnace. Always been curious about these furnaces, and this one is intact apparently. I'm guessing this is where the iron would run out of it. Wow. Maybe all around. It looks pretty crude, but I'm thinking this is a highly engineered piece of machinery. The early ironworks. The directions to the spring said it's across from the wrecked car. And I would say that I found the wrecked car all right. Wow. I wonder. Somebody with a little more knowledge about this vintage could probably tell what this was. But of course, I am curious. Got to get in there for the detail. Yep. It's certainly wrecked. Look at that, asbestos brake linings. Yikes. Well, what better night to do the wrap up from the tent than tonight? It's a foggy, rainy end of the day, and in stark contrast to last night, the tent was 90 degrees last night. And in fact, I was just sitting here in my shorts with no quilt or anything on, and I could not get cool, and I couldn't get cool enough to sleep. And around midnight, the skies opened up and it cooled down considerably, but it took a long time. So tonight, it's 65 in the tent, and it's chilly. So I'm all wrapped up in the quilt. As you can see, I'll shoot all the way down there. That's the quilt. And I'm feeling quite cozy, and I think I'll make up some of that sleep that I missed out on last night. So, but it was an interesting day today because the trail was almost flat, almost all the way. So it came down and it went into Boiling Springs, and in Boiling Springs I noticed that there was a gas station about convenience store about 2 blocks away. So of course that's like you can't pass that something up that's that close. So went there and I downed 2 liters of sweet iced tea, and that helped to rehydrate me, but also gave me a little caffeine for the day. And this was around 7:30. And I also walked by an outfitter, which was not open until 9, and that's unfortunate because I need some tips for my trekking poles. It's getting worse by the day, and so I was going to check in and see if they had them, but I wasn't going to wait around. And then I met a guy who is one of the few people out here who's older than me. He's 74, and he did the trail 22 years ago. It's taken him longer now. He started around the same time I did. And at one point we were chatting and walking along the trail, and he said, I haven't chatted with anybody and walked along the trail in the whole time that I've been on this year. So I guess he's pretty slow, and so am I. So it made out. He's a really nice guy. Hope to come across him again. But then, curiously, I didn't see him the rest of the day, and we were on the same trail, so I don't know if he got off or if he had some other plans for tenting. I ended up doing an 18-mile day, which is a pretty good one for me, but because the trail was so flat, it wasn't too bad. And it took us through cornfields and wheat fields and along the sides of fields, and then through some wooded areas. But it was almost all flat. Crossed Route 81, crossed a whole bunch of roads, went over them, went under them, and very, very flat. Just a slice of Americana as opposed to hiking in the mountains today. So it was very interesting. And now I'm poised to go into Duncannon tomorrow, and I still haven't decided. Well, I still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to take a 0 day or whether just do a Nero, which means I'll do 11 miles into town, resupply, shower, laundry, and try and upload some videos, and then pull out in the next morning. So still have to make that decision, and I'll be doing that later on tonight. So that's it. So I'm cozy in my quilt, and looking forward to getting a really good night's sleep tonight.